Okay. Wait, come into child's pose.
You want me to start all over?
No, it's okay. This is good. Child's pose, and just start to sink in. And as you breathe in, calling all parts of yourself to this present moment. And as you breathe out, letting any thoughts release themselves into the ether. Allowing your breath to get longer and fuller. Ingesting your breath as if it is a refreshing glass of water. Allowing it to nourish and replenish your system. And remember that it's a guide for you to tap into at any moment, to bring yourself to the here and now. And lastly, affirming to yourself that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Taking 2 more rounds of breath here. On your last exhale, you can come up into tabletop. And you can move the pillow.
There you go.
And stack your hands with your shoulders, your knees with your hips. And take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, round your spine into cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. You can play around here with your breath and with your movements. Getting some different sensations by moving the hips. And coming back to center when you're ready. Go ahead and lift your right knee off of your mat. Allow it to hover. And start taking your knee into some circles towards the top of your mat. There you go. Try to elongate your spine and your crown. There you go. Feeling a nice activation in your hip. You can go in the opposite direction. And 2 more times here. And drop that knee down and take a moment to catch your breath. And when you're ready, lift that other knee up and start your circles towards the top of your mat. Do 3 more. There we go. And in the other direction. There we go. Try to find some nice stability here, making sure that you're putting your weight on all points connected to the surface, not leaning to one side or the other. There you go. Take another breath in. And on your exhale, send your tailbone back into downward facing dog.
Wait.
Yeah, take your time. If you need to go into child's pose and take a moment to integrate, that's fine. There we go. Now enjoy your first down dog of the sequence, pedaling your feet out. Awakening your senses in the back of your legs. Bringing that awareness in. And come back to stillness whenever you're ready. And take 2 really deep, refreshing breaths here. And on your next inhale, lift your right leg into the sky for 3-legged dog. There we go. And open up your hip if you want to bend your knee. There you go. And open up a little bit more. And go ahead and take that foot and put it in between your hands for a low lunge. There we go. And keep that knee on the ground and rise up, rising your arms into the sky. There you go, perfect. Try to bring your knee in alignment with your hip. Yeah, so a straight line. So you can feel that activation on that glute. Okay.
Itching.
I'm sorry. Take your last breath in. On your exhale, come back into 3-legged dog. So sending that leg back into the air and down to the floor to down dog. Take a breath in. On your exhale, send your other leg into the sky for 3-legged dog. There we go, opening up, bending at the knee, getting a nice stretch in the hip flexors. When you're ready, step your foot in between your hands for a low lunge. Get nice and stable here, however you need to find that groundedness. You can rise your arms up into the sky, drop that knee, there you go. Getting that straight line from the knee to the hip, activating the glute on the right side. And take another breath in. On your breath out, come back into 3-legged dog. And take your time for this flow. There's no rush. And drop the foot down to down dog. Take a deep breath in. And high push up. Lower yourself all the way down to the floor. And bring your arms next to you on your mat with your hands facing towards the mat. So elongate your arms next to you so they're laying next to your stomach, yeah. And place your, there you go. All right, and I invite you to come into locust pose. So as you take a deep breath in, raise all of your limbs off of the mat along with your head, activating your backside. There you go. You're gonna hold this for 3 breaths, and I encourage you to try to activate those back muscles just a little bit more and raise yourself up just a little bit more. There you go. Take another breath in and release down to the floor. And take a breath here and integrate that knowledge that was transmitted into your backside. And on your next exhale, come into downward facing dog. You could take a moment here. And take a deep breath in. As you exhale, get completely empty. Gaze towards the top of your mat and step up and allow yourself to hang for ragdoll. Maybe you want to box your arms here. There you go. And just allow yourself to surrender into this pose. If it helps, you could spread your feet more apart and bend at the knees just so you can get some more gravity, pulling on the upper back. There you go. Roll your head. See if you can release any tension. Allow yourself to be awakened to this new sensation. And take another breath in and let it out. And as you, on your next inhale, rise into extended mountain. Rising your arms up into the sky, gazing in between your hands. And you could take a moment to integrate and come back into your center. You're in a new relation to gravity. This is your first standing pose of the sequence. Allow yourself to ground in through your feet. Feel that groundedness come up and shine through your hands. Feeling stability on all four corners of your feet. Very good. On your next exhale, you can fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Elongating the spine, there you go. Bring your arms into airplane wings. There we go. And take a breath here. Relax the arms just a little bit. There you go. On your next exhale, come into high push-up. And lower yourself all the way to the ground. Set up for locust pose. On your next breath in, go ahead and rise your limbs up. There you go, activating. Take one more breath here. On your exhale, surrender to the floor. Take a breath in. And come into downward facing dog whenever you're ready. Take your next breath and make sure your exhale, you get completely empty. Gaze towards the top of your mat and walk up for halfway lift. Rising as you inhale. And fold forward. Inhale, extended mountain. And fold. Halfway lift. And high push up. Come into upward facing dog. Inhaling as you shine your heart forward. And downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And get completely empty. Gaze towards the top of your mat. And step or hop forward for halfway lift. These pants. Alright, rise your arms up into the sky. And bend at your knees for chair pose. There you go, and sink in. See if you can spread your feet out just a little bit more. There you go. Might be too much. Yeah, right there. It's a sweet spot. Make sure your tailbone is nice and tucked. Awesome. That activation.
That's it.
Awesome. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And low push up to up dog. Downward facing dog. And take your right foot forward for warrior one. Getting nice and stable before you rise. Warrior one. There you go. Got it. Just point these toes just a little bit more to the front and widen your stance just a little bit more. So spread your feet apart more. Like space-wise, bring this back foot over more to the left. Yeah, so we're making more space in between your feet. And rise your arms up into the sky. And just find a moment to get nice and comfortable here. You're gonna come to this space quite often during this sequence. See if you can bring this foot back and align it with your knee.
Getting bit.
Okay, we can pause and go inside.
Please.
Yeah. Alright, come into Warrior One. There we go. You can get nice and cozy here. Aligning your ankle with your knee. There you go, perfect. And widen your stance out just a little bit. So there you go. So you can get a little bit more stability. Okay. Take a deep breath in. On your next exhale, come into low push-up. Lower all the way to the ground for upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Sending those hips back. And bring that left foot forward for Warrior One. Getting stable before you rise. Yeah, fix your feet before you rise up. Widen your stance. There you go. Perfect. And get nice and cozy here if you need to adjust at all. On your next exhale, come into low push-up. Down to low dog. On your upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. And just remember at any time in the sequence, flowing through, if you don't want to do the low push-up to up dog, you can just go straight into down dog. Okay? All right. You can take 2 refreshing breaths here. Nice and nourishing, grounding breath. On your next breath, with your exhale, get completely empty. And gaze towards the top of your mat. And jump or step forward for halfway lift. Rising as you rise on the inhale and fold forward. Extended mountain. Rising up to the sky. And sink into chair pose. There you go. Getting nice and sturdy here. Take a breath in. On your exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. And low push-up to up dog. Alright. And take that right foot forward again for Warrior One. Rising up, inhaling as you rise. And low push-up once again. Or downward facing dog, whatever you feel called to. Take that left foot forward for Warrior One. Inhale as you rise up. And come down to low push-up or down dog. There we go. Take a breath here and get completely empty. Gaze towards the top of your mat and jump or step forward for halfway lift. And fold forward. Extended mountain rising into the sky. You could take a moment here to integrate. There you go. And tune into yourself and tune into this movement and this. That's okay. It builds a tempo, so allow yourself to feel that tempo and move through you. Take 2 more refreshing breaths. halfway lift, and low push up, or downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale as you rise up. And open your stance to warrior two. There we go. Taking a deep breath as you extend into reverse warrior. Other way. Yeah, there you go. Oh. Here, I'm gonna adjust you. So come back up to warrior two. There you go. And point this foot more. There you go. Awesome. And reverse warrior. You're just gonna take yourself back like this. Oh, there you go. Just enough. Awesome. On your next exhale, you can come into low push-up or down dog. Make your way there slowly. And take your left foot forward whenever you're ready for warrior one. Getting nice and sturdy. And open up to warrior two. Take your breath in as you reverse your warrior. And exhale, come into down dog. There you go. You can take a moment here. Maybe even come into child's pose. Just take a second to reset yourself. Take 2 more breaths. And come up on all fours into tabletop when you're ready. There you go. And I invite you to lift your right leg off the ground and your left arm off the ground. And reach them out. There you go. And you can take a breath here. And go ahead and clench your elbow towards your kneecap. And out again. In. And out. One more time. And out. Come back to center. Ground yourself in. And you can go ahead with the opposite side when you're ready. And in. And out. Align these flows with your breath. Perfect. And one more. And come back into tabletop. And take your deep breath in. On your exhale, come into downward facing dog. And bring that right foot forward for crescent lunge. So stepping on the tippy toes of the back leg. There you go. And rise up into the sky. Both of your arms into the sky. It's okay, take your time. There you go. Bending a little bit at the knee if you want to shorten your stance a little bit. There you go. Awesome. When you're ready, twist to your right side. So place your arms at heart center and then twist. You could take it a little bit lower by hinging at your hips. It's okay. Take this time. Okay, so you can hinge at your hips and then take your left elbow and place it. Yeah, get a nice stretch there. Go ahead and unwind and come into warrior two. So drop the back foot on. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. On your inhale, reverse your warrior. And come back to center. I invite you to use a block here for a half moon balance. Yes. So, yeah, there you go. So you slightly hinge at the hips and lift your limbs into the sky. There you go. Finding a nice balance here. You don't have to go too crazy, whatever feels comfortable. Knowing that the shakes are really important for reprogramming your muscles. Take a breath in. On your exhale, fold forward. There you go. And extended mountain. Lift your right leg back into crescent lunge. There you go. So pointing the back toes forward, yep, and standing on the tippy toes. There we go. And take a breath in. On your exhale, on your next exhale, bring your arms to heart center and twist. On your next inhale, come into warrior two. And reverse your warrior. There we go. And drop into half moon balance. Getting that nice stability on all four corners of the foot here. No rush. Yeah, getting nice and stable. Perfect. Take a breath here. On your next exhale, you can fold forward. And extended mountain. There we go. And you can take a second here if you want to drop your arms and shake it out a little bit. Get a nice integration period. That was some hard work. Good job. And rise your arms up into the sky and clasp your hands and point your fingers. I invite you to shift your weight over onto your right foot, slowly lifting up the left. And send your toes to your back side as you tilt forward, hinging at the hips for warrior three. Perfect. You can find what feels good for you. You don't have to go all the way. Here we go, and drop the toes in the back for crescent lunge. There you go, perfect. And you can drop your arms if you need to. So the back foot stays forward and you're on your tippy toes. If you need to widen your stance, that might be more helpful in gaining that stability. Yeah, perfect. Rise your arms up into the sky. And come into warrior two. Opening up the hips. There you go. And reverse your warrior. There you go. And then on your next exhale, come into side angle pose. So bringing your forearm onto your thigh and reaching your arm up into the sky. There we go. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior once again, taking your time as you get there. Feeling nice and stable here. Reverse warrior.
Or reverse.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Tight. All right, there we go. And then come into triangle pose. So straighten out this front leg and then reach your arm down to the block.
Right arm?
And raise your arm up into the sky. And you can take that right arm and lay it on your shin if it's available to you. This is a really good modification. Just make sure to keep that front knee straight. Straight. So you can rest this hand on your shin if you want. Like this.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. For triangle pose. Awesome. Take your last breath out. And rise to stand. Stay in the same position. Whenever you're ready, take that left hand and place it on your block. And raise your right hand into the sky, and you can gaze up towards your fingers for a revolved triangle. It's a little bit more tough.
See if we can place these toes forward. Is that a little better?
Okay. And whenever you're ready, come to the top of your mat for a forward fold. Just surrender here. We don't have a lot to go. So just allow yourself to be and gather your strength for this last remaining bit. Dreaming of Shavasana, your final rest. On your next inhale, come into extended mountain. And clasp your hands, point your fingers, and start to shift your weight to the left side. And send that right foot back, hinging at the hips for warrior 3. So lift up the back foot. Bring your foot back to center.
Warrior 3.
Yeah, there you go. So hinge at your hips now. There we go. And point yourself forward like an arrow. There we go. And drop the back foot for crescent lunge. Landing on the tippy toes. Bending at the knee. There you go. And warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. And side angle pose. Bringing that forearm to your thigh. There you go. Perfect. Bring that right arm into the sky. Taking a moment here. And your next inhale, come back into reverse warrior.
To reverse.
So reverse it up. There we go. And straighten out your front leg as you come back to center. And come into triangle pose. So you can bring your left hand down to the block or your shin. And bring your right arm to the sky. You can gaze up towards your arm if it's available to you. There we go. And take a breath in. And you can slowly come back to standing position and point both of your toes. We'll come back to your that stance that you were just in for triangle. There you go. And point your toes like your back toes. So point them in the same direction as your back toes. There you go. You can come back to center. Rise up. Raise your arms up. There you go. Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We're communicating. So take a breath, and on your exhale, you can fold forward into the straddle to get nice and cozy. There you go. Allow yourself to hang. You want to shift yourself from ankle to ankle and get a nice stretch in each hamstring you can. And come back to stillness. And on your next inhale, rise to stand. Keeping your feet placed the same, but taking these front toes and facing them towards the top of your mat. There you go. Placing your block next to your foot, your front foot. And keeping your hand there. Revolve triangle. So take your opposite arm into the sky. Perfect. Inhale in. And as you exhale, find yourself to a forward fold. Extended mountain. And come into eagle pose. So slowly shift your weight to your right foot. Wrap that leg around and bring your arms down, placing the right arm underneath. There you go. Perfect. You had it right. There you go. Taking a breath here. Now shift yourself into tree pose. Perfect. You can unwind your arms. There you go. See if you can raise your arms into the sky to add a little bit of extra balance. You can drop that foot down to the ground and drop your arms as well. Whenever you're ready, lift your opposite leg up for eagle pose. Slowly making your way there. Awesome. Making sure all of your weight is on all four corners of the foot, using it as a balancing act. When you're ready, come into tree pose, unwinding your arms. Take a breath in and fold forward. Halfway lift and high plank. Lower yourself all the way down to set up for locust pose. Facing your palms towards your mat. There you go. As you take a deep breath in, rise your limbs into the sky. Another breath. Exhale, surrender to the mat. On your next inhale, come into bow pose. So, like locust pose, but this time you're going to grab your ankles. There you go. And lift yourself up. Use that counter, that resistance to lift yourself off of the ground. Perfect. Take another breath. Your last exhale, you can surrender back down. Take a moment here. Bring your hands up to your shoulders, placing them on the mat. And come into upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. You can walk or jump to the top of your mat and just shift yourself onto your bottom. So bend out your knees, there you go, and put yourself onto the ground. Awesome. And I'm gonna have you actually go to your back, so lay on your back. You could just get used to this. It's a nice grounding moment here. The final part of your flow is going to be on the floor to ground you back into your body and into the moment. Nice and slow and refreshing. Alright, whenever you're ready, set up for bridge pose. Bending at the knees. There you go. Awesome. On your next inhale, rise up. Getting a nice activation in the glutes here and the back side. Bringing some awareness there. And lower down to the ground.
All the way?
Not all the way. We're going to do one more bridge. Inhale in as you rise. See if you can take yourself just a little bit more, activate the glutes just a little bit more. And surrender into your mat. Bring your knees together and your feet together. There you go. And slowly open your knees, keeping your feet together. Yeah, there you go. And come into butterfly pose. Whenever you're ready, you can take your knees to your chest, clasping your hands around your shin. You can rock side to side here. And use your hands, whenever you come back to center, use your shins and try to push outside of your hand, outside of your forearms, like using a little bit of resistance there.
Are you trying to break open my arm?
Yeah, try to break open your arms, but have your arms act as resistance. On your next exhale, you can surrender down to your mat. When you're ready, lift your legs up into the sky for waterfall. There you go. And you can flex your feet here. Get a nice stretch in the back side of the leg. And surrender down to the floor when you're ready. And take a moment here. On your next inhale, come into a half pigeon, bringing the right foot forward or the right leg forward.
Like that?
Perfect. You can take a second to get settled in here and relax however you need to, change and shift however you need to.
There you go down.
Yeah, if you want. You can stay like that if you like. If you want to reach forward, you can, whatever's available to you. And whenever you're ready, come into double pigeon. So bring that left leg up to the top of your mat, putting it on top of the right. There you go. You can place your, see if you can get your ankle a little bit more over your thigh. See if it's comfortable for you, I don't know. However you need to adjust. Is that okay? Okay. So keeping your spine elongated as much as possible. Hinge at your hips and just shift forward. You don't have to go too far to feel a stretch.
That's all I can do.
That's good. That's okay. It's really, really good, really refreshing. You don't have to do much. One more deep, refreshing breath. And you can switch your legs now, bringing the right leg on top of the left. For a double pigeon. And on your next breath, you can leap your left leg in the front, taking that right leg back for a half pigeon. And whenever you're ready, bring both of your feet forward and rest onto your back for a happy baby. Perfect. If it's available to you, you can shift and open up one leg by straightening it out. Feeling that stretch. And with the other side as well, you can shift between them. Straightening out one leg, straightening out the other.
I'm gonna fart.
Go for it.
Not yet. Roto, judge me.
He's not in a position to judge. Alright, and you can come back to center and release your legs down to the floor. For this next pose, it's going to be a supported fish pose. So the pillow is going to go underneath your lumbar spine, low back. There we go. And maybe scoot your butt a little bit more that way. So are you familiar with fish pose? Okay. So you're going to place your forearms onto the ground. And then you're going to let your head hang. There you go. Really good pose. Throat chakra activation. And take a breath in. There you go. And your next exhale, you can come back laying onto your back, removing the pillow. And come into a supine twist, putting the right leg over the other, and just opening yourself up. There you go. Maybe gazing at your fingers. There you go. In your next exhale, you can uncoil yourself and switch your legs. Be gazing at your fingers and getting more of a stretch. There you go. Take another breath in. On your exhale, uncoil and come back to center. And you can just lay here in Shavasana, full surrender. Allow yourself to sink into this moment and congratulate yourself for showing up. Allowing yourself and your body to integrate the knowledge and the awareness. whenever you're ready, you can turn onto your side. And rise up into seated position as it feels good for you.